Today, I'm interviewing Dexter Fisher, who is running for commission in District 5. I've interviewed his opponents, Jared Bailey and Matt Pulver, already, so make sure to check out those episodes as well. But let's get right into it. Here is Dexter Fisher, District 5 Commission candidate. Hi, Dexter. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you having me on today.
So start off by telling us a little bit about yourself. What do you do as a day job, and why are you running for commission?
Well, my day job, I work for Clarke County School District. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for the school district. Previously, before Clarke County School District, I spent 30 plus years at the University of Georgia as Director of Facilities on that campus. And I had retired back in April of 2019, but the previous superintendent asked me would I be interested in coming over and being the Chief Operating Officer for the district. I decided to do that, and I've been doing that up until May of this year. I will be retiring at the end of the school term. The reason I decided to run for commission because my DNA has been service all my life. That's all I know. From the time I was growing up with my mom, and I grew up in South Carolina, being a civil rights baby, had a chance to participate in the civil rights movement in my hometown. And that sort of started my early, what I call activists, and wanted to help people to better themselves. And like I said, that's sort of in my DNA, and I've been doing that most of my life and most of my career. So that's why I decided to run, and hopefully I can make a small difference and help Athens become a better place than what it is already.
Okay, great. If you're elected, what would be your main goals for your first term in office?
I think for me, Chris, is youth development. I think that's going to probably be my number one priority. As you know, for me, I haven't worked in the school district and haven't worked at UGA. To me, we have a shortage of programming for our young people. We have a gang issue that a lot of people don't like to talk about, but it's real. We see it in our schools. And if we don't get a handle on this, Chris, moving forward, then I think it can hurt our town in the future. And we may end up losing a whole generation of young people because, again, they don't have enough activities to do. So I'm going to really push leisure services, work with our nonprofits in the community to make sure that we have the proper programming for our young people to get involved in so they can have things to do, because what gangs do is they offer them food, they offer them money, and they offer them love. Well, we got to do a better job in the gangs in order to save our kids. And if we don't do that, then like I said, we're going to lose a whole generation of children gangs, and I don't want to see that happen.
What kind of programming do you have in mind for our kids?
Well, we got, for a town this size, we got a number of nonprofits that work with youth development. One of the things I see Chess and Community doing things, working in the STEM program, and not only teaching young people how to play chess, but they also introducing them to STEM. Rick Dunn has a program where he's training young people how to work on the radio, behind the scenes, in front of the mic. The Clarke County School District, in the next 2 years, we're going to have our own TV station. It's going to be student ran. So again, I think the more and more activities that we can involve our young people in, the better it is for our community. We got clubs, we have bike clubs, we got hiking clubs, we got swimming clubs, we got tennis clubs. So we need to push our young people into diverse activities to make sure that we can keep them active and make sure that we keep them engaged for themselves to be better, and also for a better opportunity for our community.
And on your website, you say that you have initiatives to help the less fortunate get on their feet and to find their place in our community. I was just wondering, what are some of those initiatives? And what do you think about the things that are happening right now to help the homeless, like that new homeless camp that started up at the end of Barber Street?
I have visited the homeless camp, met with Mr. Hardy. Matter of fact, we're good friends. And of course, he's supporting me in my candidacy for District 5. I think one of the things that we need to be mindful of, first of all, is that camp sustainable? Our goal should always be to take our homeless population to some type of permanent home, whether that be an apartment, whether it be Habitat for Humanity, whether it be job training, whatever that may be. We need to make sure that we move them from being in a homeless camp into being in a place where they can live with a roof over their head. I just think that those opportunities, we need to make sure that work and that we support what he's trying to do. Now, moving forward, like I said, we got to make sure that's sustainable, though. And I don't think we can sustain that on an ongoing basis, from year to year. So we got to make sure that we do everything we can, that the people that go to that camp, that we can get them into some type of permanent housing. And that's what I'm going to push for. One of the things, Chris, I've done in the past, I have a foundation. Back in 2008, I lost my first wife and my mom. Both of them died the same year. And for me, and that was tough for me. So I said, what can I do to help make an impact in this community? So I started a foundation award for the last 13 years. We have been awarding scholarships to young people in this community, people of color in this community, to go out to school. So we're going to continue to do that. We have continued to do that. Some of those kids have already graduated. A couple of those kids are attorneys now. Some of those kids are teaching school. So those type of things, in me, like I say, my DNA is want to continue to help people and pay it forward. I will hope that those young people who have had the benefit of using the scholarship and going off to college, that they would come back and also contribute to the community that they live in, whether it's here in Athens-Clarke County or in the community that they live in. So I'm always been about trying to help folks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think it is a tough situation because, we might not be able to continue this homeless camp, Charles Hardy's camp, once the American Rescue Plan funding runs out.
Right.
So what would you want to do after that? Like, how do we get people into permanent housing?
The thing we would try to pursue is make sure, first of all, we find them employment. And again, employment with a living wage and with them to be able to afford to live somewhere. That's the first thing. Education needs to come into play. For any type of training that we can provide for those people that are in the homeless camp, we need to be doing that in some form or fashion. And hopefully, if we can get them employed, and what I understand is Charles has secured a deal with Pilgrim to employ some of those folks if they want to go employment and work at that particular plant. So that's a start right there. We need to make sure that they have a proper training, make sure they understand, a lot of times, they have plenty of jobs in Athens-Clarke County. One of the problems we have, though, is soft skills. A lot of times people can get a job, but they can't keep the job, either not showing up, not calling in. So we're going to have to work on things like that individually. So to make sure once you get the job, we need to help you keep that job so you can be self-sufficient and also be able to afford to live somewhere. Now, I am concerned, Chris, about how much it costs to, the apartment here now, because of student housing that impacts rent that goes up. So we got to take a look at that, either whether or not we put a cap on charging rent in some form or fashion, but we really got to take a hard look at that to see how people can afford to live in certain places. Now, a big issue that all the candidates are talking about is affordable housing. And I tend to look at affordable housing completely different from other people. Affordable housing may mean a person who can afford a house, somewhere to live in instead of staying in an apartment. Because what that does is statistics have shown if they got kids and they live in a house, then they do better in school. They tend to stay out of trouble. And also that's passed down generational wealth for the next generation. So I think affordable housing should be a home more so than an apartment or somebody renting. So that's what I would push for, more affordable housing, working with developers to make sure we build those type of houses so people can actually buy their home and can leave their home to their kids moving forward.
How do you think that we can encourage developers to build more affordable homes? Because obviously, they make more money when homes are very expensive, right?
Well, we probably have to offer some type of tax incentives for them to want to build affordable homes. And, I'm talking about possibly in the $150,000, $200,000, $250,000 range. You're right. They won't make a lot of money, but if we can get them some type of tax incentive or tax breaks for them to build those type of homes, that could be attractive to some developers. Of course, some developers not going to do that, but there may be developers that may want to have that opportunity and may want to help us, move in that direction.
So now I'd like to address the elephant in the room. As you know, the Republicans in the state legislature gerrymandered Athens Commission districts in a pretty heavy-handed way, removing 3 commissioners from office. Mm-hmm. And other Republicans started an organization called Athens-Clarke, and they also have a PAC that's called Athens Clean and Safe PAC. And in a fundraising email, this Republican PAC listed you as one of the candidates that they would be supporting. And but I know that you're a Democrat, right?
Been a Democrat my whole life, lifelong Democrat. Have supported every Democrat that has ran for office in Athens-Clarke County. So why they support me, I have no idea. And I have said on all three radio shows that I have done that, first of all, the rejoin of the district should have been a local issue. Our mayor and commissioner should have made that decision. That did not happen. And again, I'm not on the commission, so while the other commissioners decide to vote against the rejoin of the district, you have to ask them. I fully support, actually, I supported the Spencer Fry map that he did. I think that was the one that was more close to what should have happened. I have no affiliation with the Athens Clean and Safe group. I'm not taking any money from any PACs. I can't control who support me and who doesn't support me. So I don't know why as a matter of fact, I had not seen that. So this is news to me. I have not seen that letter that you were talking about. It's the first time I heard about it, actually. You brought it to my attention. So,
okay.
Sure.
Yeah, and I know that you can't stop them from supporting you, of course, but you could say publicly, right here, if you want, that you don't want their support and that you don't want to be associated with them. Is that something that you'd be willing to say to them right now?
Sure. I mean, I don't want their support. I don't need their support. I want the support of the people who live in the 5th district, and those are the supporters that I am canvassing with. Those are people that I'm knocking on doors. I have had other PACs to come to me, actually Democratic PACs that want to support me. And like I just told you, I'm not taking any money in those PACs, and I have not asked for any of those support. So yeah, I don't want that support to answer your question.
Okay. Let me jump in again to add that Steve Middlebrooks, the manager of Athens Clean and Safe PAC and a big Republican donor, endorsed Fisher on Facebook. When I asked Fisher about the endorsement after this interview, he explained to me over the phone that he welcomes the support of all District 5 residents, including Middlebrooks, but he said he doesn't want the support of any PACs. So now let's get back to City Hall. So Mayor Gertz and the commission have been headed in a new direction for Athens over the past few years. And I think whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, which of course we know that you're a Democrat, basically everyone agrees that they have headed in a new direction. And the only question is if we think if it's a good thing or not. So do you generally agree with the things that the commission has done over the past 3 years?
I think the commission have done some good things. I think that there's some things they need to work on. Again, they haven't done anything, in my opinion, haven't done anything with affordable housing. I mean, they talked about it, haven't done anything with it. I don't think they've done enough for youth development, especially when it comes to kids of color. They just have not done a very good job at it. We continue to grow student housing. I'm trying to figure out, when and if we're gonna stop that trend. So there's some things that we need to really look at moving forward. I'm a candidate who's open to ideas. I'm a candidate who's looking to really move Athens in the right direction. Somebody asked me what my, am I a progressive, a moderate, I'm conservative? I'm a middle of the road guy. So you'll know, Chris, and I've told this to other people. First of all, don't nobody control Dexter Fisher. I'm my own man. I'm gonna make my own decisions, and so I'm not, I know this. Some of my progressive Democrat friends are not supporting me, and that's fine. I get that, but at the same time, they don't know me. They don't know what, they need to come, if you want to know about Dexter Fisher, you need to come talk with me. But like I said, I'm not beholden to no particular group. I'm beholden to the people. If I get elected, I'll be beholden to the people in the 5th district. I will consult with them when there are tough decisions to be made about our community. And if my constituents say, hey, this is the way we think, or the majority say this is the way you need to vote, and that's how I vote. I think sometimes politicians get into office, they think they know what's best for their community without, consulting the people that they represent. So that's not how I'm going to operate.
Do you think that the mayor and commissioner right now have not done a good enough job at reaching out to their constituents? And
I think you hit the nail on the head. I don't think so. Not as much as they should. And I don't know what each commissioner did in their own respective districts for reaching out to the people that they represent. Matter of fact, if I do get elected, and of course I wouldn't take office to January, I'm gonna spend the next 6 months, again, going around to the people in the district. I don't think we've been as transparent as people think we are, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, Commissioner Denson, who is the commissioner of District 5 now, I mean, he started doing regular town hall meetings. That's a first, I think, for commissioners in that district. That they're always open to input. They do tons of surveys. So I'm not sure if I agree that they haven't been open and accepting of input. But
well, let me say this: Commissioner Dixon didn't represent me. I had a different commissioner. Never heard about if there was any type of town hall for. I was in District 6. I never got anything. I never got a survey. So I'm talking about who would represent me. I can't speak for Commissioner Denson because he didn't represent me. I was represented by another commissioner. So again, everything that I read about in the commission from my district, I read in the paper.
So my last question is, why should voters choose you over your opponents?
Well, first of all, I have experience. I spent the last 30 years working in public service, Chris. I've served on a number of nonprofit boards. I have mentored young people in this community. I've done a lot of things behind the scenes. It's easy to be out front and march and carry a sign, but the real work goes behind the scenes. So I give my time, my resources, and my money to causes where I feel I have helped people in this community. So I feel like my 30 years of leadership, I've supervised people, I hired people, I fired people, I have trained people. And that wasn't so much about Dexter Fisher because we did this as a team, and part of my platform is building bridges. So for me, I have always tried to bring people together to get things done. I've said it before, I said it again. I done worked with 4 different presidents at the University of Georgia. I've served on numerous committees over there. I work with a number of nonprofits in the community, hospital board, the mentor board, the Athens-Clarke Community Foundation board. I'm on Mercy board right now. So, and working on this board, you deal with different people from different walks of life. So I have had those experiences, meeting with people and having meetings with people that are different from me. I have different ideas and different opinions, but at the same time, we try to come together for a common goal, make sure that whatever we do is the right decision either for that particular organization or for that department. So I'm proud of what I've done. I'm proud of the man that I am. Of course, my biggest thing is, I'm a father, I'm a grandfather, I'm a husband, and those are my biggest accomplishments. That's what I love the most about who Dexter Fisher is. But I think for me that I can bring people together. I've done it in the past. I will continue to do that. Again, whether I win or lose, I'm going to continue to serve this community in some capacity. When I retire in May, if I don't win the commission, I'll continue to volunteer in the community, as I always done.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for coming on the show, Dexter.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me, Chris, and I hope you have a great day.
Thanks for listening. Thanks to all my patrons who make this show possible, and have a great day.